Before you hire an attorney in a third-party debt collection case, here's what you need to know. Welcome to Blind Intelligence, where the rules, the rights, and the responsibilities put you back in control. This is not legal advice, this is not financial advice. I do not offer legal advice and I do not offer financial advice. If you would like legal advice and financial advice, I suggest you find yourself a competent professional and please be advised. What I'm about to say here is strictly for education and information purposes only. But here's what you need to know before you hire that attorney on a third-party debt collection case. Many attorneys, you're going to go out. First of all, you're going to go out and you're going to look around for an attorney. Whether it's a consumer attorney, and you may find a regular attorney. But they can't help you in your case. Whether it's Midland Funding, LVNV, whoever it is taking you to court. See, there's two ways that this thing can happen. How did it get to court? And these are the answers that you have to ask. And there's two ways that it could have happened. One, you didn't answer the letter. You did not answer the letters when they contacted you through the mail or email or whatever, however they was corresponding with you. That's number one. And you got a summons in the mail. You got the summons in the mail. Now you had to go to court because they bring you into court. And the second one is sometimes things happen and they say, because they some dirty scoundrels, they say they sent you some information and all of a sudden you get a summons in the mail. Those are two ways. One with letters, one without letters. They just don't come willy-nilly and take you to court. They have to go through a process before they take you to court. Right? Now, if they take you to court, if they bring you into court, now I know in my state of Mississippi, you have to file an answer when you get the summons. My question to you is, did you file an answer? Say, baby, did you read it? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. But the key thing is, do you file an answer in your state when you get a summons? Because if you do, that's your way out. Under 15 U.S.C. 1692G validation, Midland Funding or LVNV, whoever's bringing you to court, has to validate that debt. Do they have a contract? Do they have a contract with you? Do they even have your original contract? No, they don't. Do they have an assignment? No, they don't. Because they bought these debts for pennies on the dollar from your creditor. Whoever you owe, whether it was Capital One, I don't care who it was. They bought the debt. Understand what I'm saying to you. They bought your debt. They got a whole stack, and your creditor had a lot of people where they charged off the debt, which charge off only means they go from pay status to non-pay status. You still owe the debt, but they picked it up. Your creditors still have your original information. They don't. Your creditor still has your original information. This is the reason why they must validate the debt under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. You must understand that. Because if you don't, you're going to get caught up. And then when you hire an attorney knows this stuff. Not all attorneys know it, But consumer law attorneys do, and you go out there and you spend your money with a consumer attorney, and if you get no results, I'm going to tell you straight up and down, that is not uncommon. It is not uncommon. They know things that you don't. But you can. You can't learn this. You can't learn this. You just got to read the information. The consumer laws, if you learn the consumer law, they know the consumer law too. I'm telling you, you just got to know how to maneuver in consumer law. You got to know the different sections and what applies to you. Read the information under truth in lending. You know, what applies to you when you get a loan? What applies to you with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act with debt collectors? What applies to you when it comes to your creditor in terms of the CRAs, the consumer agencies? You know them as credit bureaus. But you go out and you hire these attorneys because you be in a panic zone. And then you let them put you through the process because they tell, because you ain't never been to court. You never been to court. You don't know what that process is. You don't know the procedures. See, the thing about it, this is real. You have to know what your rights are. If you don't know what your rights are, you don't know where they stand at, I'm telling you, you're going to run into problems. And then you're going to lose a lot of money when you're dealing with the debt collectors and you're dealing with these attorneys. Now, let me say this. All attorneys aren't bad. A lot of attorneys give out good information, but they're all in business. And all I want you to do is I just want you to understand this for yourself. You got to understand this for yourself. You can't let nobody come and tell you this, and this, and they don't know the consumer law. They have to abide by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act when they're taking your tail into court. But these third-party debt collectors, don't get emotional. They want you to be emotional. When you get emotional, they got you because you can't think. You cannot think when you are emotional. When you are angry, you can't think. If you're full of rage, how you gonna think? If you cry, if you got crying eyes and stuff, how you gonna think? You gotta remain calm. You gotta remain how you remain calm is knowing who they are. Because once you know who they are, you know how to, then you're going to know what law applies to them. Let me say this. The Fair Debt, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 15 U.S.C. 1692G applies to debt junk buyers and debt collectors. Well, I always thought they were the same. No, they're not. They're categorized the same because of that law that they have to abide by when they're in contact with you. They should not even contacting you unless they abide by that law. Your debt collector, the debt collector may abide by it. When they contact you, when your debt collector contacts you, remember this. A lot of times, your debt collector be the ones that have an assignment. And that assignment saying that they are speaking on behalf of your creditor. But they have to abide by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. But them third-party debt collectors, like LVNV, Midland Funding, Portfolio Recovery, and even a attorney. Attorneys are in the debt collection game too. You might have a letter coming from an attorney's firm, but you must understand at the bottom of your letter it's going to say this is a collector collecting on a debt. Don't get duped. Don't get duped. Know your rights. Plain landed. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Foresight. Hey, you like this video? Leave me a comment. Share it out. Share this video. Oh, and by the way, just cash at me. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. It doesn't make a difference. Just cash at me. I am at. I'm gonna leave it in the description. But it's at dollar Foresight 718. It's dollar FORESIGHT 718. So just give me a cash app. But listen, I want to thank you for watching and stay encouraged.